What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you a World of Tanks gameplay commentary. This is one of my matches in my SU-100, obviously fully upgraded, fully camoed, fully dominator mode. Of course, I run the 122, and it is this is going to be a standard battle I actually forget the name of this because I am terrible and super professional, and it is Sacred Valley. Yeah, that's right. I can't believe I am forgetting the name of maps, but that's what happens when you are just gone from the game for so long. Now, I have actually started playing again, but only in kind of like a few times a week, so still easing back into it. But I figured bring you guys something that's not quite the average, a tier 6 TD, kind of me playing a bit more aggressive, and that's kind of the way I play my tank destroyers. I'm not usually content to just sit further back and wait for the enemy to come to me. I usually try to get a bit more forward and position myself to get shots off early on in the match. I want to be doing damage as quickly as possible, and I mean, oftentimes that can lead to me taking a lot more damage, and in other rarer situations, definitely meeting my demise within the first 5 minutes of the match and not being as effective as I otherwise could have been had I been a little bit more conservative. But right now, I will hopefully notice, yep, I'm spotted. I'm like, what's spotting me? Oh, that VK70, that 3002. Right there. I just default said 72 because I love that tier 10 premium tank. But he will die, mostly due to the fact that I knocked off 453 hit points off of him. Again, the 122 gun on this vehicle, while its reload is a little long and its accuracy leaves a lot to be desired, does pack a punch, and if you're close up like I am, it really doesn't matter all that much. It's hard to miss. Not to say that RNG still hasn't made me miss in those types of situations. Right now, getting shot at, seeing the very important need to dive behind this hill. My team seeming to have a good grip on the hill, speaking of hills, and right now seems to be a fairly even distribution. Looks like our Chaffee in their base, although to what effect I can't say, considering there is no artillery for either team. And he will get destroyed by a Nashorn who is camping way back there, but the Nashorn will die to our Nashorn who is in the center. So kind of a odd exchange of fire at this point, and at really kind of struggling to get a little bit more damage here. I figure pull back a little bit to a more supporting position and ideally move up to help my team. But at the same time, I recognize my team's possibly going to get overrun, and I don't want to get too aggressive and find myself in an odd position. I also was thinking possibly he might get flanked. The 3001 and 3601 are two very different vehicles in this game. And in real life, because, I mean, most of these tanks are more or less historical. I won't say this game has complete historical accuracy, as that has been proven to be, you know, more often than not. It's definitely not a 100% completely historically accurate game, but they do strive for it where they can. That being said, right now, definitely providing a deterrent to this enemy team to not want to push up. That Churchill 7 getting smacked for 410 hit points, already dealing 1,200 hit points of damage, and the enemy team really not liking me, thinking they're going to come up and flank me, and I'm like, on second thought, why don't you take 357 damage instead and nearly die? So a good chunk of the enemy team really coming into one-shot range for me, as long as I roll for my average damage or higher. He is easily one-shot range. If I did not get that odd ricochet, but he also ricocheted off me, got swallowed by what I assume was my gun mantlet. And the enemy team, I'm going to look to eliminate a gun, although that proves to be not necessary. If I had high rolled, I would have easily killed that LKMX, but right now I recognize I am getting rolled up on myself. I want to push towards my allies and possibly save myself from a bit of damage, but I don't think that's going to happen, and I think I'm going to get shot right here. I will ricochet due to the extreme angle of my frontal plate and him shooting at that instead of my side, and get kill number 1 finally after dealing 2,300 hit points worth of damage. And our team is still struggling despite that massive amount of damage I have done. It is still 9-9, and it still can go either way, although I will be honest, at this point I'm a full health SU-100 with a 122mm cannon, 390 average damage. I don't see my team really losing this due to the fact I am still alive, although I have to be cautious here. There are 3 vehicles coming up on my front and a 4th on my flank, although I'm kind of hoping the Jackson, yes, he will take care of that. Again, this is 9.6. It's been a long time since I've seen these replays, so for me, I kind of forget a lot of what happens here. Makes it a bit more exciting for me, honestly. But that Fury will finally hit me for some damage, but it is certainly anything but a fair trade. That Fury taking 354 damage for his 107 dealt to me. Not exactly the kind of battle you want to be in. And that is always something to take into account. If I pull in front of this vehicle and we both get a shot off, does it work in my favor? If not, you probably shouldn't do it. Just putting that one out there for all the people still trying to get the hang of this game. If it's like, oh, I'm going to pull out and shoot this tank, but then I'm going to get shot by him and he does a lot more damage than me, or I'm going to get shot by him and 2 of his buddies and take a lot more damage, get shot 3 times for 1 shot off, it's probably not a good option unless you are doing so cautiously with only your strongest armor exposed and you think you're going to ricochet. Otherwise, if you're pulling out sideways, like I see so many of you do, and I shoot you for this all the time, it's just not a wise option. I'm gonna put that one out there, just trying to educate the masses, because oftentimes you are on my team as much as the enemy team, and better players kind of makes for more interesting battles. Let's just be honest on that one. Right here, I will come up after being a little bit sneaky, pulling around the mountain. I'll be coming around the mountain when you die, but not quite dead yet. Finding myself in an odd position, but really trying to angle my armor against that Fury and super Pershing that Jumbo. Not Pershing, Super Sherman. That's, I guess, Jumbo Sherman is what everyone calls it. I should have called it that from the get-go. I will kill the Fury trying to shoot the T-150. Very unfortunate for him, but hey, it's his own fault. He should not have been pulling out like that. And I still want to kill this VK-3001, who is still out in the open. I will take the snapshot because he was rapidly moving out of my field of, basically my kill zone, if you want to call it that. And I knew I would be reloaded in time to take the shots I needed if I had the opportunity later on. And again, that's another principle in this game. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If an enemy is about to pull out of your gun sight and behind cover, take that shot. As long as you have a chance to hit him, take that shot. Because chances are pretty good you'll be reloaded next time you see him, and it won't be really relevant. Killing that Super Jumbo Sherman. I almost said Super Sherman again. I'm probably going to start referring to them as those now, even though that is so wrong. Right now, I want to hide behind this building from this T-150. He can kill me in 1 shot, if I recall correctly. T-150, if he's using the good gun, can deal an average of 300 damage, which I am well beneath. But it looks like he might not have it. He's certainly not fully upgraded, and he wasn't even facing me, so definitely not a factor. 5 kills, 3,748 damage. And just an amazing performance for a tier 6 tank destroyer, to be sure. Now, let's be honest, this pretty much was a tier 6 match. 1 tier 7 per team doesn't really make it a tier 7 match, per se. Yes, technically it is, but realistically, the tier 6s are going to be the movers and shakers throughout the entire match. But anyway, going to the post-game stats, let's see how everyone else did. And obviously, earning myself Mastery Badge Ace Tanker and High Caliber, not Top Gun. I was 1 kill short of Top Gun, but getting myself actually my first mark for this vehicle. I don't play really any vehicle enough to earn reliably 2 or 3 marks of excellence, just because I move around so much. I grind so many lines trying to move my way up, and I only play my fun vehicles like this SU-100 occasionally. So certainly not ever going to earn 3 marks of excellence, and it looks like I actually did get some ghost damage on someone somewhere. Oh yeah, the Fury. When I killed the Fury trying to shoot the T-150, so got actually over 3,900 hit points worth of damage and 5 kills. The closest thing on the enemy team was that Fury with 1,642. And everything else just dipping off below that. Our KV-2 actually doing some good work, and our T-150 also doing some good work, so very respectable performances on their end. Those are good, solid numbers for a tier 6 vehicle. I mean, on the average, if you can do that pretty much every game, and then occasionally have an amazing game where you do over 2,000, you're doing well in a tier 6. But, I mean, honestly, a lot of these are average 600, 700s, 800s of damage for tier 6s are just average and respectable. But when you get these guys who are doing twice that, they're certainly on their way. But then you have me, and I'm just wrecking it with close to 4,000 points of damage, almost single-handedly destroying your entire team. Yeah, then there's bastards like me ruining the game for everyone else. But shots fired 13, all 13 did hit, but only 12 penetrated because of that one odd ricochet off the turret. I mean, I've got 175 penetration. It's hard for me not to pen other tier 6s. I really gotta hit them in an odd way. And the 122 lends itself to that due to its decreased accuracy, but big guns with big damage really do matter, because when you come around the corner and all you get is shot for shot, one shot apiece, and if you land yours, you've done significantly more damage. So yeah, you've got a longer reload, but in these lower tiers especially, it matters significantly less. So, and I think I really proved that point in this match. I think it's plenty evident. Apparently starting time, I guess it tells you the time of day you played that match. Huh. I just learned something new. But that's irrelevant, really, when all things are said and done. What does matter is all the credits I earned in both cases and all the experience that I earned with my times 2. I think this actually set a record for me at the time for most base experience earned, but I could be wrong with that. I don't know what my current champion holds when you look at my stats for highest XP earned per battle. Still, definitely a strong candidate and a well-played match. Definitely a fun match for me. I mean, it's hard to not have fun when you're just doing nearly 4,000 points of damage in a tier 6 match. I mean, I'd still just... and I played it very aggressive. You can't argue I was a camping TD in this case. And the SU-100 is a soft tank destroyer. I got lucky with extreme angles and the way I kind of maneuvered my tank. Kind of the way you see a lot of players driving the SU-122-44. So if you want an SU-122-44, not quite sure how to play it, I think this is a good case of kind of the gist of how you should. Because the 122-44, that tier 7 premium tank destroyer, is really a strong candidate. It's got good mobility, it's got good DPM, it's just got the same alpha, same damage, same penetration and damage. So you're gonna probably be running premium shells a lot when you see tier 8s and stuff, but still, it's a very strong tank destroyer. And there are a couple replays on my channel you can check out to just solidify it if you're even more on the fence. But if you're thinking about getting a mid-range premium tank, I would suggest considering it, for sure. Rambling on long enough, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. If you've got something you want to suggest or share, comment section below is there for that. And if you've got a replay you think I should do a commentary on, well, instructions on how to submit that, and also so much more in the description below. And until next time, this has been Spang, and clearly I'm just oh so professional.
MLG Dynamo.